And Dan, who's our instructor, is like, okay, we're ready to do the out in the open sea test with like the fish and the sharks and the rocks and the sand. And you have to find a sand barge because you don't want to harm the coral because these are protected keys. They're exquisitely beautiful. How hard was that though?
It all looks the same to me, but.
Hey everybody, I'm so happy to be back with Marty and my husband, and we are still in Key West at Task Force Dagger, which has been so amazing for our family, and we're very excited about the rest of the week. But I'm going to tell you what we've been up to here, and it's been incredible. We actually were on a Coast Guard cutter last night during sunset, which was pretty amazing. I'll go into details about that. And believe it or not, it was called the William Trump. How about that? I don't know. I know. Funny. I don't know. I don't think they were related, but you never know. I mean, Trump's not a common name. So I'm just going to throw that out there. We'll tell you about that and how amazing our U.S. Coast Guard is and what they did for our families. Also, my husband and I finally passed our certification. We're still working on it, but we passed the hardest part, certifying for full face mask scuba diving, which is so different than, just getting reblued, because I had, instead of the octo, which I'm breathing through, and the regular mask and clearing and all that stuff, and we'll explain that later, we have a full face mask, and we've got to be able to rescue each other if, God forbid, something goes wrong underwater. And I'll tell you all about that. We actually did it in the ocean this time. I'll go through the details of that. And it was so funny. Somebody grabbed my back of my leg when we were getting ready to turn around because it was really dark under the water. There was, and we'll explain that.
Low visibility.
Yeah, low visibility. And thank you. Low visibility. And so someone grabbed the back of my leg. And of course, the first thing I think of is shark. And I turn around and it's just a human being. Thank God. And we're having fun. Our kids are having fun. We have a son that just got in today, and it was just a coincidence. He was with his girlfriend. They are on a cruise ship. He has not ever done a vacation like this, and he happened to port here at Key West. And so we're going to get to see him today. So we're really excited about that. So we've got Sophia with us, our daughter Annalise, our granddaughter Sage, and Justin and Faustine, who are going to be here with us in Key West today. Before I get to the show, though, I want to tell you about gold and silver. And I truly believe, and my husband and I talk about this all the time, in ensuring that your money is very well distributed so you do not lose it. You want to be able to protect your assets. You want to do that. Don't just trust me. Read up on it for yourself, understand how the market works, and redistribute your financing so that you can protect those assets. Don't put them all the eggs in one basket.
Diversify.
And I know, diversify. With Allegiance Gold, you can get $5,000 of free silver right now on a qualifying purchase when you tell them that Sara sent you. My friends at Allegiance Gold can help you protect your IRA or your 401k with physical gold and silver, and they will deliver it securely right to your front door. You saw what was happening in Canada. Justin Trudeau, the prime minister, is a lost cause of communism. He was able to just seize people's bank accounts. Nobody cares about democracy anymore. You're fooling yourself if you think that this won't happen in the United States. It already has with woke corporations that have basically tossed people out that they don't like Don Jr., like General Michael Flynn and others. Right now, get $5,000 of free silver on a qualifying purchase when you tell them that Sara sent you. So thank you so much, Allegiance Gold. Don't wait. Call or click today, 877-702-7272. That's 877-702-SARA, no H, SARA, or go to protectwithsara.com. We can't control the Biden administration, folks, but we can prepare, and we have to. 877-702-7272. That's 877-702-SARA, SARA, no H, protectwithsara.com. First, I'm going to take a sip of my Cuban Coffee Queen. Yes, my Cuban. Marty's laughing because I ran down with our daughter to the Cuban Coffee Queen here in Key West. It is so good. And I'm going to tell you, so authentic. So authentic. That looks like my grandma right there on the cup dancing. It's her shape. I'm telling you, it's pretty funny. It's her shape. But, you know, I love my heritage on my Cuban side. So being here in Key West actually gets me to connect with my roots. So on top of the fact that we get to be in this beautiful place where we're learning, I think, to be grounded and be a family again, it's actually, Marty gets to experience a little bit of, I guess, what my mom grew up with and my Cuban side, the islands, right?
Oh, yeah.
By being here. And how do you feel about the weather here?
The weather's awesome. Seems like it's 89 to 91 every day with a little bit of humidity.
So if he was going to be honest with you, he would tell you that he hates the humidity. I'm actually okay with it.
Hate's a big word.
Hate's a big word. Yeah. Well, you don't like it. You very much dislike it, but you love scuba diving. And part of what we're doing today, and you were a master diver. So just so you guys know, my husband has at the, what is it, USOCOM, or is it Army?
It's Army Combat Dive.
Army Combat Dive. So you were there. Yeah. So you were there. How long ago were you there?
We don't need to get into that. It's been a day or two.
It's been a day or two. So you're a master diver, and your picture's in there. Tell everybody about that.
Yeah, I think when I went through the dive school over there, the commander we saw the other day was like in kindergarten or something. Right. But tell them about that picture you have, because it's the funniest thing. So tell them what they do. So every class, you go down there for, I think it's 5 weeks. It's been a while. But every class has a class photo at the end. And our class photo consists of a montage of, you'll have one photo of all the class, but then there's a montage of all the different scenes that was happening when you were in school. And it might be, you know, two guys coming up after diving, giving the okay or whatever. Our scene, I think our scene was out on the beach over here. There's a topless beach, and we had some girl flashing the camera in between me and my dive buddies. And
so as you can see,
so they hid us in a closet down in the basement somewhere. It's like,
yes.
Because everybody's class photo is hanging somewhere. It's just you might not be front and center like everybody else.
Yeah,
I think we're in a closet.
Yeah, so they were definitely in a closet because it was like all the 80s and like different 80s, early 90s.
Well, it was 1988, and we were here during the Fantasy Fest, which is a nut roll time.
A nut roll time. I like
people
literally.
People walking down the street like zero clothes on, maybe a Band-Aid
Do
somewhere.
not bring your children here during that time.
And body paint.
Yeah, I've never been here during that time. Obviously, he was here during that time because he was at master dive class or whatever. I mean, if that's what they were doing. But anyways, back to your picture where they hid it. So I'm walking down the hallway and we're like, oh, hey, where's Marty's? And they're like, oh, yeah, it's weird. It's not here. It's like 86, 87, skip over to 90, 89. And I'm like, where did his go? Well, we had to, only grown-ups were allowed down that hallway. That's for sure. Right?
Who'd have known? Who'd have thunk it?
Who'd have thunk it? Right. So let's get back to our dive class, because this is like, I felt like master diver when we did this. I felt like... Because it was so scary, right? Because I was nervous and it's nerve-wracking. You've done this before, but explain how difficult.
But even I hadn't done it with a full face mask with comms. It's a little bit different. You know? So
we have the communication device. We have the full face mask. One of the things you have to be able to do, and I'm a novice, right, is you got to dive, you got to get under, and you got to be able to take your full face mask off. Now, you have this oxygen coming in. And when you start pulling your mask away from your face, the water rushes in, right? And it's like, and it's shaking against your face. And you got to drop your face mask, right? Which is hooked to you, because it's hooked to your oxygen tank on the back. And then you got to be able to grab your octopus and put it in your mouth. And then he doesn't have to, but I have to be able to put my other mask on, because I've got to be able to see under the water, especially if I'm rescuing someone, or I have to be able to put that on and clear it deep under the water. And then that part of the test is done. That's just one of the tests. Marty has to do it as well, and he's amazing at it. But we had to do it in the ocean yesterday. Yeah. I thought we were done when we were at the pool. I was like, we're done. I'm like, woo. I was like, we're done. And then I get to the ocean. We're out there on that boat. with everyone. And Dan, who's our instructor, is like, okay, we're ready to do the out in the open sea test with like the fish and the sharks and the rocks and the sand. And you have to find a sand barge because you don't want to harm the coral, because these are protected keys. They're exquisitely beautiful. How hard was that though?
It all looks the same to me, but
funny guy.
But we're down 20, 30 feet. You know, you got a little bit of depth involved, a little pressure. And it adds to the stress.
A lot,
Yeah.
Mr. Calm guy. You know, I'm talking to him so nice, like, hey, oh my gosh, it's dark. You know, we have low visibility, but then I see like a beautiful parrotfish swim by, and I'm like, a parrotfish. And then I feel Dan grabbing the back of my leg, like, okay, stop swimming around. We got to take the test. And I was like, ugh. The test.
Let's swim some more.
Let's swim some more. I don't want to take this test. But it's intense because you have to be calm, right?
Yeah.
You have to be centered, because if you panic, you will drown. That's the lesson in this.
Well,
I mean, it's about teaching me to be centered, to be calm, to assess the situation. Because I also had to do rescues with you in the pool. And that's an intense thing, you know, where I'm trying to pull you up and you're like literally dead weight, you know. And I mean, I know it's water, but there's a lot of gear and tubes, and I can't move things around. Yeah, straps and stuff like that. So these are all parts of getting certified. I don't know. Is it for you like that, for remaining calm and just assessing the situation?
There's a lot to remember. I mean, you know, just because I've done a lot of stuff doesn't mean I've done this particular thing. So it's a lot to remember. You got to sit there and go through a sequence of events in your head, and okay, we got to do this, we got to do that.
Yeah, well, yeah, but you do it.
Yeah.
But you
like
do it
anything
blind.
else.
Everybody's like wondering how you do that. Like, I'm like, it's just, you just know the equipment that well.
Yeah, you just know what you're feeling and trace your fingers around till you find what you want. You know?
Right. And then, but for me, it was like being very centered. To me, that was like what I wanted to, and it's like a life lesson, right?
No, Sarah impressed me. She did really good. I even get a little bit of anticipation, and I've done a lot of this kind of stuff before, but she's a rock star.
I want to show you all the full face mask. So for those of you who are on YouTube and Rumble, good for you. You can see it. For those of you who are just listening to this podcast, I'll describe it.
You get what I get.
Yeah, exactly. Right here is the full face mask. The reason why I'm using the full face mask and getting recertified is, again, so I can talk to my husband, who is blind. Yes. People ask me, what kind of visibility does Marty have? What kind of visibility do you have, babe?
0.
So it's like cave diving.
3 feet up a well digger's behind.
Yeah.
Is about what I see.
That's terrible. I just say that. But so this way I can describe what's going on. And I want to be able to do that because this is something that Marty and I loved to do before he was blinded. We love the ocean. We love going out to sea. Granted, I am afraid of sharks. Oh, by the way, a couple that was with us in a different group, they were out on a different key or a different area of the Keys. Different reef. Okay, there. Okay, I said it wrong. A different reef. And they were surrounded by nurse sharks yesterday. But I guess the nurse sharks are okay, right?
Yeah, they're fine.
Yeah, they just want to take care of you. They just want to bandage you up when you get cut. They want to swim around you. I don't believe that for 1 minute. Everybody keeps saying that to me. They have sharp teeth and they might seem nice. They might look like a giant catfish, but they have giant sharp teeth in their mouth. So I'm not going to play with them and I'm just going to let them swim away from me. So back to this mask. This is the full face mask. This is the oxygen. This is a purge right here. So if water comes into my mask or if I need to fit my mask underwater, and that's part of the process, is not only taking the mask off, but being able to get this mask back on underwater without ever coming up, without ever panicking, and then purging it, right?
Yep.
Getting rid of the water. And you do that by blowing through it, right? And then you can hit this little button and it helps, right?
Yeah, one thing that's a little bit different about this, but it does not have the stage 2 right here does not have a mouthpiece in your mouth. So, normally if you connect with that mouthpiece, you hit the purge, it's clear, you can breathe. Well, because this full face mask does not have it, and why the extra training?
See that?
Because if you had a mouthpiece in, you wouldn't be able to talk on the communication system.
Right.
So there is no mouthpiece. Your mouth is free to talk in there, but.
Right. When you do that, right, baby, you have to purge it out like through
So you're blowing out a whole lot more volume than with a normal low porosity face mask. You blow out through your nose, low volume, doesn't take much. This thing has a lot of volume in it. So you gotta attach it to your head correctly, and you blow out that volume, and it comes down, and it goes down below your nose and mouth where you can breathe. But if you run out of air blowing out that volume, and the water's still up here, you're going to be yanking that mask off, getting your octopus back in, getting back on an air supply, and then doing it again.
Yes, and that's if you don't panic, because that's what happens to a lot of people that are very calm. When you take away their oxygen, right?
Separates the
it's scary.
kids from the adults.
Yeah, right. Or just normal people from crazy people, because it is literally a life or death situation. So I think, like, for me being out here, and I mean, there's all kinds of gears, guys. Look at this. Look at this.
That's stage 1.
Yeah, this is the stage 1. And by the way, when I'm under with my husband, because he can't read how much PSI that's the oxygen levels in his tank. I not only have to check my oxygen levels, but his. And right here is a compass.
And I use a lot more oxygen than she does. Well, a lot more compressed air.
Yeah, he does. Men use more oxygen by far than women, apparently, underwater. And so I'm constantly watching and monitoring. And this is the compass that I'm still working on that.
Men's lungs are a lot bigger, so when you're actually
watch out, you're talking about gender. Yeah, remember, you can't say anything like men's lungs. Like
Y chromosomes tend to have larger lungs. You figure it out.
There's just facts are facts. Facts don't care about your feelings, right, babe?
Yeah.
And believe me, underwater, facts do not care about your feelings. Men use far more oxygen than women underwater, and because they have more lung capacity.
And when you and every day right now breathing, you're off gas in 20 or 60%.
Hey, I don't have any
oxygen.
gas. I don't have any. What are you talking about? Off-gassing? That's ridiculous.
60% of what comes out is rebreathable oxygen.
I wouldn't say that.
Well, whatever.
I'm just telling you, I wouldn't say that. Not in my opinion. Keep that in. Keep that gassing in. So anyways, that's our, we didn't talk about the most important part of this whole mask, and the part that gets really hard to put on when you're re-putting it back on. So you guys see this little piece? It's actually quite a big piece. It goes over my right ear.
They probably want you to put the mask on.
This is I will put the mask on. This is the comms, right? This is the comms. So this is where I can hear my husband, and he can hear me when I talk to him. The button that I use, so I can show you guys this. I know all of you are going to be running to Rumble and YouTube to see this wild mask, is this button. So I push that button in. I say, hey, babe, can you hear me? I'm watching a giant shark swim right by. And then I push that out. And then my husband's like, what? What did you say? Because that's what he says to me every time. Okay, I made him laugh and cough, but it's true. And it's because a lot of times what happens is when you're breathing, the bubbles that are coming out of here on this mask are swooping right by this earpiece, which makes it difficult to hear. So he's jerry-rigged his mask, but he refuses to show you guys that on here because he jerry-rigged it with some plastic bags and some ties. And we're gonna see if it works today or if it just goes flying off and I gotta go chase it into the coral and grab the pieces.
That's why we're gonna secondary air device.
Okay, so I'm gonna try the mask on really quick. I'm gonna don't make fun of me. Don't make fun of me. It's not easy. This is not easy. Okay, I'm gonna take this out of my ear for a second. I'm gonna put this mask on, and you're gonna see the complicated nature of the full face scuba mask. And I'm going to show you right now. So this, you suction it on like that. And
Gotta talk loud.
I'm trying. It's not easy.
It's not easy. I'll repeat that because it is.
Because it's not wet. So I've got this thing right here. And now I got this on, right?
That is the transmitter receiver on the side over here.
And so now I got to tie these, pull them back. I can't breathe in it now because I got no oxygen. And then I got to pull this like this. Pull this back.
So a normal mask has one strap around your back. This has 5.
So I've got to strap all of this on.
With a lot of communication
Right.
and wires and boxes and
Underwater, right?
underwater while holding your breath. And then you got to blow out your breath. And if it doesn't work, then you're ripping it off, grabbing your
Crying.
secondary stage 2
And then you do.
putting that in and breathing.
Right. And by the way, it's awesome when you have the full face mask working. This one, of course, is some people just feel safer. They like it better. They have more control over this. I really enjoy going, diving with this full face mask now because I've kind of gotten comfortable with it over the last few days, and it allows me to be able to communicate, and I just kind of chill, and I'm going through the water, looking at all the beautiful fish. I mean, there's so many beautiful fish in our, especially in the Keys. And I'm just hoping that today the weather clears. That's all.
Except for them bad lionfish.
Oh, yeah. Apparently, there is a huge problem with the lionfish, guys, here in Key West. So they have these lionfish hunts where they just kill as many as they can because they're not natural to the environment, right?
They're Indo-Pacific native species that has been gotten here by people moving them around. And
They've come here that way. They've come here from the Indo-Pacific. They show up, and then they eat everything.
And they are voracious.
Yeah, they are. So what was that guy doing? The fisherman on his boat? He was having like some kind of event.
Oh, they have a contest down here. Basically, you're hunting down lionfish to
save
the fish in the Keys.
Yeah, save the fish in the Keys. So if any of you out there want to hunt some lionfish,
like $1,000 first prize.
Yeah.
500 second and third. I mean, they're just encouraging people to come out and
do
try
some
to
killing.
save the Keys.
Yeah, and do some killing.
Yeah.
So last night, as we were wrapping up our daily dive, we got back, we got ready with the kids, we did our family thing, we went and had dinner. We went on the U.S. Coast Guard cutter, William Trump, right? Yep. It was amazing. You didn't even want to go at first. You were kind of thinking like, I'm going to go on a ship.
You've been on one Navy boat, you've been on them all.
But it ended up being awesome.
It's pretty cool. Pretty cool.
Yeah. What did you think it was the best part of it? You were talking with the commander the whole time.
Yeah, I know. Well, he was he's actually like the equivalent of battalion XO.
Yeah, which most people don't have any idea what that is.
So he's a commander, and he came out to welcome us aboard, and he was not the captain of the boat. He was
like in charge of a bunch of boats.
He was in charge of about 6 boats, or he was the executive officer for about 6 boats.
Right.
But it's pretty cool. It's a pretty nice boat.
Yeah,
thing's fast.
Yeah, how fast did that go?
30 knots.
Yeah, which is in miles. How do I convert that? Because
1.2 something times 30, so whatever that comes out to, 35 miles an hour, give or take.
Yeah, is that pretty fast for that boat, for that big ship? I felt like it was a ship.
It was.
I thought it was pretty big.
It's about 155 foot, has a capacity, well, it has a crew capacity about 14 full-time. But
right. So but one of the things that I thought was the coolest, because he was talking to you about it, was the fact that they interdict a lot of migrants.
Yeah.
So coming from Cuba and Haiti and other nations. Jamaica. He's had people from other places.
Dominican Republic.
Republic.
Island, any place people are on the water and they're coming into the southeastern shores of the United States, that's where he's at.
And what was great was that once they get on the boats, once they rescue them or whatever and put them on the boats, they don't bring them here. They send them back home.
Yep. They have, exactly.
What?
Well, I don't want to get all that. They have people come down and interview them, and they're looking for what their qualifications are to come here, and then they send them back, or they let them come. But most of them they're sending back because they don't really meet the specifications of.
Well, they're not asylum. They don't meet asylum specifications.
Correct.
He was like, he was just going over like what the ships do out there. And he was even saying like they interdict a lot of narcotics, obviously coming through, which is awesome, and stopping a lot of the bad guys, those semi-submersibles.
They found a semi-submersible sub-like tube that basically had 3 guys in it, and
how much narcotics? It was like filled with cocaine.
Thousands of pounds of cocaine.
Yeah, this was just like a few days ago, guys. Yeah.
This thing was like,
it was loaded up.
30 foot long.
Yeah, just loaded up with drugs coming right to our country to kill us. And they interdicted it. And I mean, these guys are awesome. And what was even better is the kids. The kids had so much fun on that boat. They were just having the best time. They were able to talk to the captain, go into the, the captain's room or the captain's, what is that called? Where they get to hang out with them and, steer the ship. And they were they weren't actually steering the ship.
I think that's the forecastle. I'm not a Coast Guard guy.
You're not a Coast Guard guy.
No,
You're
it's like speaking Chinese.
Well, it's just, I'm just asking.
The command room, I guess.
The command room, that would be it.
Kids are popping their head out the top windows.
They were having so much fun. Anyways, it was just a great night. It was beautiful. It was a beautiful sunset. I thought it was incredible, and the family loved it. And I was just felt blessed to be there. But not all children are so lucky. And every year, over 2 million children are trafficked around the world. Now, there's a new movie aimed at raising awareness to this often unseen horror. Guys, it's Sound of Freedom. It's from Angel Studios. My friend, Enrique Verastegui, was behind the making of this film. That film is going to be released July 4th. I'm hoping to bring Enrique on the show with me next week. You don't want to miss that. I want you to get out there and purchase tickets online. Why? Because the more people that purchase tickets online, the more they're going to play this movie across the United States. It's just that important. New theaters are added daily, so check the website out for current information at angel.com/freedom, angel.com/freedom. Just so you understand what happens, I mean, in the United States alone is unheard of. More than 500,000 children a year go missing just here in our own country. More than 50% of those victims are between the ages of 12 and 15, guys. 27% of human trafficking victims are children. Help spread this message worldwide. My husband and I are very, very supportive of any group that is out there trying to save children. And this film is going to open up your eyes. Sound of Freedom is coming to theaters July 4th. So buy your tickets today to reserve a spot opening week. If more theaters are sold out, it will help raise awareness of this issue that often goes unnoticed. Find a theater near you by visiting angel.com/freedom. That is angel.com/freedom. By supporting the Sound of Freedom, you will continue and contribute in raising the awareness and propelling a movement to saving millions of children around the world. It's up to each and every one of you. Get your tickets today at angel.com/freedom. That's angel.com/freedom. So once we finish 4 dives, we are going to be completely certified. So far, we've done 2, right?
Yeah.
2 full dives. We need 2 more, and then we will be completely certified. So because of that, and because we did so well.
2 in the ocean.
Well, 2 in the ocean. We did. What doesn't
4
that count?
before
Yeah, 4 before that. But doesn't that count like 2
no, that was
right
training.
now? So that was training. So I have to do still 2 more, right? 2 more in the ocean. And so to celebrate that, we went out last night. We decided, okay, the kids, Sophia, the grandbaby, Annalise, everybody's just asleep in their room. Why don't we go out and have fun? Just go out and have some drinks, right?
Mm-hmm.
And what happened? What happened? Don't hold back. I was amazing. You should see how well I can hold my liquor. It's so like
Sarah is the biggest lightweight you ever saw in your life. She has. We went out last night, and first place we went into was
Was the only place we went into.
The Hog's Breath. Well, the first place we walked up to was the Hog's Breath.
I think so. And then I was like, nah, let's not go there. Let's go across the street because there were just way too many people having a little bit too much fun in there.
Sketchy.
A little sketchy right there for a minute. And so I'm like, let's go over here to this kind of nice, kind of fancy restaurant. And so we go in there and then I order a martini.
It was a
Like
kind of nice wine bar, martini bar place.
I don't know what that lady put in there, but it was crazy.
Holy mackerel.
It was like...
I think she got roofied.
I know. I did not, but why I should have just stopped at one. Anyways, I had two. That was my limit. And I should have only had half. Really, should have been my limit.
Well, I had two, and it was like...
Hey, I sang a lot of songs on the way out of that bar. There was a good thing TMZ was not here. Not that they even care about me. I think I'm on the D list for them. But it's a good thing they weren't here because I was singing to a man who was laying on the street. He did look like a pirate.
She called him Captain Morgan.
I did. I thought he was Captain Morgan. But he was missing a lot of teeth. He was very nice, though. He saluted me. I saluted him. We were having a good night. Hey, guys, thank you so much for being a part of the show. It means so much to me to have you with me on this adventure with my family. I know we're being a little bit funny today, but this has been a very blessed and I take it very seriously experience for us. It teaches you to kind of refocus on what's important in life. And you learn that, I think one of the things I'm taking away from this, I don't know if you are, but in life, if you remain calm, even in the worst of circumstances, you'll find you can at least hope to find a way out of a situation, right?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I think that's like even for your training. Isn't that what?
You can always have a plan, dive your plan, remain calm, and keep pushing forward.
Yeah, but not even with diving. I'm talking about life in general, with everything.
Same thing. It applies to everything. Have a plan and execute the plan, or do your best,
Right. And then you'll be fine. We love you. Thank you again. Follow me on Truth at Sarah Carter Official, on Twitter at Sarah Carter DC, and on Instagram at SCarterDC. God bless you. God bless our great nation. God bless your family. And God bless the great states of Texas and Florida.